Hello, my name is Jacqueline Abbie Jackson-McGill. I am the second daughter of Henry L. Jackson and Celestine Bland Jackson, excuse me, came from my mama's name. And we're here at the present spot of Jacqueline and McGill Funeral Home, LLC, on 612 South Main Street, Marion, South Carolina.
And I am Cynthia Alma Jackson-DeWitt. I am the third and youngest daughter sired by Henry L. Jackson. I'm the spoiled one. Much to the chagrin of my two sisters, Sylvia and Jackie, but they got over it. So we're here on Main Street where we were raised, and we bought here from our father. I was born in Dillon, and I was raised here.
We had a unique situation because our dad raised us. There were 3 girls in this house, and he had a business to run, and he needed help, and he got help from the community and from people that he could trust to come in this home and help deal with us as girls. So, and then being a father, he's very protective, and we felt bad.
He was a doting father.
And well, that's her word for it. Because he doted over her because she was spoiled. That's why she was doted over.
We were young. He did dote over us. He was doting.
Well, he was a caring dad. I'll say, but and he was a tender-hearted dad, because if we got sick, Daddy got sick, and it was just that way with him. And I guess because we were girls. If we were guys, I guess it'd have been a little different story. But he was a dad. He had his own
quirks. They put it that way. He had his own quirks when it came to things little girls shouldn't do.
He did things with us.
Fishing. I love fishing.
Yeah, he would take us fishing. She loved that. And I just want her to get back home, but that she loved.
I love fishing.
And I just like spending time with him wherever he was.
Yeah.
No matter what it was. I don't care if he got in the car and drove down the street. I wanted to be right there with him.
We go to the graveyard and he let us drive.
Yeah.
Try to teach us to drive.
So y'all did have fun time, even though y'all, it was a serious childhood.
Sometimes we had fun times. Really, sometimes he was so serious. Oh my goodness.
He would take us to the beach. He knew that was something we did every summer. We had a time to do that, and he would take us to Philadelphia to the baseball games, and that was a week out of the summer.
Annual thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We lived in the house where people would come and transact their business, and we knew how to. We knew what he expected us to do, and we did it according to how he asked us to perform our little duties as his daughters in the house, making people welcome, and then you disappear while they're transacting their business. You go to your room, or you go to the kitchen, or whatever it was.
He had empathy and compassion for people, especially when they're in grieving and whenever they're in pain.
Mm-hmm.
We could sort of we felt that, but we couldn't show it. But we learned to,
Well, I thought it was real scary myself when we first went out on funerals with Dad, because people be hollering and screaming and carrying on, and it would just unnerve me. But I didn't even think about nerves, but I knew it made me scary, it made me jittery, until I realized what was going on. When we had our potty business under control, we went to funerals.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would keep my father company whenever bodies would come in at night. He would go into a barn. He would get me up, take me with him.
And all 3 of us would be back there sometimes.
Be back there,
in the mall.
Yeah.
So did y'all have different roles? Like I know your oldest sisters, Miss Sylvia has passed on and everything, but did you guys have a certain roles as oldest, middle, youngest? Did y'all certain things y'all had to do in the household, family, or were y'all just kind of like equal in a sense?
Well, we all did what we were supposed to do as far as our chores and duties in the house. But as far as the funerals, Daddy always left the babies in charge with me. I was the baby carer. I would dress them, treat them like little dolls.
We felt safe to do whatever he tell us to do.
Right.
And because he was our hero.
He was our Superman.
Yeah.
And he was our superhero.
As we got older, and he expected things out of us, we would come from school and say, "Put your clothes on. You got a funeral to go to." Didn't change words. Just put your clothes on. Our housekeeper that kept us straight, she would dress us. In the car we would go, and that was it. That was the wrap.
That was it.
And when I got older, in school, Cynthia and I got on the band, and so sometimes we would miss those things, and sometimes we were glad we did, because we had band practice and we couldn't go to the funerals.
Yeah.
And Sylvia was not on the band. My older sister, one passed away, and she would probably end up on those funerals.
Mm-hmm.
But then she'll come back and tell us about this and that and the third. I said, okay, all right. But we were all close knit, and people understood that what Daddy was trying to do. So whatever they could do to help with our rearing and things that went on, because he couldn't be in charge of girls like that. You had to have a woman around to do certain things. And but as far as I'm concerned, as long as my daddy was somewhere around near me, all was right with the
It was good.
All was right with the world.
Everything.
Daddy was a doer. He didn't say much.
He didn't say much.
Honestly, he was just.
Daddy was very private. If you really and truly, if there's something he needed to say to you, he said that, and that was it. But to carry on conversation with his children, no. No.
Well, you didn't talk. So you didn't.
No.
So even to tell you guys I love y'all, it was any affection.
He would say that.
Okay.
In his own time.
So he would say that. Okay.
He would show it more than he would say.
He would, yeah.
Okay.
He was just more introverted, I would think, when it came to us. When it came to the people, he was out there.
But Daddy moved among people and like he was on roller skates.
That's right. But it came to us, it's inside and it don't come out like you want it to.
He didn't want a whole lot of movement on his funerals.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want a lot of fussing and no talking on his funerals.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing he did was motion his hand.
His hands he would use.
Or where he wants you to go.
Or either his eyes.
Or
He would shoot the eyes at you.
and he always stood like this
and
right
you
here.
knew what was supposed to do.
And he'll fold his hands like this, and he'll look one way and look the other way. You better move.
Do the head, do the head and the eyes, and look at you.
It was an art, man. It was an art.
It was,
and it's dead now.
It's gone.
But we try to keep it going.
Boyfriends, any dating during that season? Anybody like y'all in high school? Anything of that, y'all?
That's something I can't tell about
Oh, we can't talk about that.
But she had one.
During the time?
What you mean I have one?
She had one. I would tell you what happened, but I won't do it.
So y'all didn't date no boyfriends or nothing during the childhood?
None that he would know about.
No, Daddy wasn't having none of that. See, when we were going to school, we had the little boys, the little guys and stuff that was hitting on us and stuff, and we was kind of liking that,
Wow.
Jackie had somebody was
I sure did.
liking her a lot. But the thing of it is, we couldn't let our daddy know that. That got back to him. Oh no.
We couldn't even walk down the street. Going home.
That would not be a good thing.
Because if that dude would be home before we get home.
Right.
Well, my take on it is, I have a sense of pride also because when Poet was in 9th grade, she told me, you ask your kids about what you think you're going to do when you know that question you ask, what do you want to do when you grow up, you know? Mm-hmm. And then the last thing I expected to hear was, I want to do what my granddaddy did. And I said, what granddaddy? You know, your daddy. I says, for real? And she says, yeah. And so when you listen to that and you want to see what kind of preparation she's making toward that end, so you know you got to do good in school, you know, regardless of what, because that's not easy. And so she said, I know. And so from 9th grade until she got out of high school, they were trying to railroad her into a 4-year college and say, won't you get that first and then go to embalming school? She said, no. She says, my mom and daddy travel together on planes or however they want to travel together on these conventions and things. And if something happened to them, I'm not prepared. Nobody's prepared to take it over. So that was the vision she had, the foresight she had about the longevity of this funeral home. And she, in her mind, she was like almost taking responsibility to take up the garden if something happened to us. She was my oldest child. And but she did just what she said. I backed her, I pushed her to do whatever she wanted to do to enhance this business, because that's the only reason why we can say we got a Jackson and McGill Funeral Home LLC.
She picked up the gauntlet.